My name is LV Ciencien and I have a childhood sweetheart of a husband. I thought I could usher in marital bliss after the end of a long relationship, but I didn't realize that not long after I got married I fell into an almost loveless misery. Hubby's body and that aspect of the lack of good, coupled with my natural to that aspect of the immense desire, so often find it difficult to fulfill. This day, my husband's whim, taking advantage of my shower to sneak into the bathroom. In the face of my husband's titillation I have long been full of expectation. But just when I thought my husband could let me feel the exhilarating joy, not too husband will be finished. Said pounced into his arms toward him to cope. Hearing my words, my husband was very satisfied and lay down with his arms around me, but I had trouble sleeping until late at night, when that unquenchable longing came again like a tidal wave. I remembered the half-fire of my heart that had not yet been extinguished, and immediately got up and went to the bathroom, opened the innermost cabinet and took out my gadgets. With my emotions vented, my thoughts were slowly pulled back. After a few seconds the overwhelming loneliness came back to me. If only there was a man who could satisfy me properly like this. Once I had cleaned myself up and put on my nightgown I lay back down beside my husband. Baby, why don't I find a man for you? Hearing this I instantly tightened my heart and couldn't help but gulp. Could it be that he found my little action? Thereupon I toward him without good temper, what are you talking about? Although I usually in the husband cannot satisfy me, I also like to make a little action or watch a little more passionate movie to relieve their inner loneliness and silence. But my husband is not unaware. Could it be that because of me he is getting more and more inferior, or do you want to try my heart's true thoughts? Speaking, my husband put me into his arms. Baby, I also want you to live a happy. You also know that my problem is not a short-term can be cured, just have a friend to give me this idea. Still bullshitting? Are you just really happy to give me to someone else? I said, banging his arm with my little fist, is that how you want to put a colored hat on yourself? Hearing me speak, my husband held me close again and he kissed me on the forehead. Believe me, if this helps me, the doctor said it needs to stimulate me and I don't want to see you suffer like that. I was completely sleepless that night in my husband's arms. I was actually very much looking forward to his proposal from the inside. In the face of that kind of pleasure, is a woman are thinking about to experience some, but I cannot take the initiative to agree, or my husband will be suspicious, in case to be really on my test on the end. The next 2 days, I and my husband's life as before. My husband did not bring up the matter of that night. Just when I thought my husband that night just put forward to test me, I did not expect a few days later, my husband suddenly returned home in high spirits toward me. Wife, I prepared a surprise for you, is that night I told you. At that moment, I was shocked, remembering that night, my husband's words, and then pouted at him, you still come with me really? Honey, don't worry, I just got you a blind man to massage you, you just need to enjoy yourself. Inside the tongue of fire seems to be in this second to pour out, then I instantly full of swing. I didn't realize that my husband was able to do what he said, since he is a big man can have no scruples, just like he said, I just need to enjoy myself. I was immediately pushed into the bathroom by my husband. According to what he said the price of this blind massage is also quite a lot. I hope I cleaned themselves and then let the masseuse to receive the rest. Just when I was thinking about it, my husband did not know when he walked into the bathroom. Honey, every time you dress up like this, I can't help but feel for you. I pursed my own mouth with a red face, and a crisp knock sounded outside the door. I'll get it. As he spoke, before I could respond, he turned and started towards the door, and with a burst of panic I ran straight for the bedroom. With the two people outside the door talking, footsteps are getting closer and closer. That kind of surprise and joy is also accompanied by a little excitement instantly dazzling in my heart. Just as my thoughts were mixed, my husband pushed the door open. Introducing, this is my wife, Lu Ciencien, and this is Mr. Zhou. Hubby said towards the man, tough job. At those words I looked up towards the man, only to see in front of me was a tall and fit young man. The dim light could see that his looks weren't inferior to my husband's, and seemed to be even better. Only he wore a pair of glasses, completely unable to see his current expression, looking really a blind man. See, I half a day did not say. The man took the lead to speak. Mr. Mrs., we can now start. May. I said and turned to the pre-prepared recliner. My husband saw this and went forward to hold my hand, then kissed towards my temples. I'll wait for you outside, enjoy yourself. Words finished, he turned to leave. Immediately after this, teacher Zhou began to approach towards me. He put down the box in his hand to open it. One side took out the incense, one side towards me. Mrs., you take off all your clothes, otherwise the essential oils will dirty your clothes. All off, I said, unable to help but clench my collar. Hearing the nervousness in my voice, teacher Zhou smiled slightly towards me and said, "Don't worry, ma'am, I'm totally blind, I can't see, besides this is just the first step." The first step? Could it be that there are some surprises waiting for me behind? A strange emotion inexplicably ignited in my heart at the thought of this, and immediately afterward I listened to his order to remove all of my clothes. As Mr. Zhou lit the smoky incense, his big, thick and rough hands came straight towards me. Gradually I began to relax myself a bit. I didn't expect this teacher Zhou's techniques to be quite spot on. Those forgotten and unsatisfied emotions seemed to be slowly unearthed at this moment. Maybe it's really like hubby said, he's just here to give me a massage. I thought, slowly closing my eyes. Before I could react, my entire body was caught off guard as he flipped me right over. "What are you doing?" I said with a trembling voice towards him. The man in front of me was very calm. "Ma'am, we're going to massage the front, bear with me, these points will help you relax." In a daze I blossomed in the middle of his hands, but also under his tenderness more and more to feel a never-before-seen pleasure. I don't know how long it took for me to actually drift off to sleep. When I woke up, I had been covered with a quilt, and my husband is quiet in my arms. See me wake up, my husband scraped my nose. "Baby, how about this masseur? I see you still enjoy, actually fell asleep in front of others." "Sleeping? Asleep? What did you see when you came in?" I said, subconsciously asked out. Hubby towards me with a smile on his brow. "I came in when you were lying like this. Mr. Zhou was afraid of waking you up and left quietly. It looked like you were enjoying yourself, so I asked him out again." Still about?" I said. The office sat up. Thinking about today's massage scene, my brain was so sore that for a moment I couldn't tell if it was a massage or actually being violated by this teacher Zhou. I only feel that the feeling is a pleasure I have never had before, and when I think of the feeling of eating the marrow, I am both panicked and once again full of anticipation. Sure enough, after 2 days, Mr. Zhou came to the door again, but this time this teacher seems to be very regular. Rules to all conventional massage action, just in some peculiar acupuncture points he still can stir up my body itching. I have to say that his massage can really make my body relaxed. Just after the massage my expectations for that area more and more aggravated. Seeing Mr. Zhou very rules to me to end this massage, my heart actually a burst of empty nagging feeling. For a while, I couldn't tell if the last time was a hallucination or a real event, especially after a few times. This teacher Zhou's massage and get along with me are very disciplined. However, just as I completely let my guard down against him, that particular smoky fragrance once again lingered around me. Just as it seemed that my heart was about to fully unfold in anticipation, my husband suddenly suggested that he wanted to come in and observe. Immediately my heart stuttered. But shortly after my husband came into the room, an even more pungent scent came directly to my eyes. I wanted to speak, but my body became more and more weak. Even the voice cannot make a sound, like in a dream, but the body is real swing. The two of them then moved forward and backward to manipulate me, and I was enjoyed by them like a puppet on strings. Then I opened my eyes with a sharp pain. In front of me was darkness, and my husband, as always, took me into his arms. What the hell is going on here? And was hubby in on that scene just now? How can he look at other men on my thought of this? My heart cannot help but pull a bit, those in the end is not true. But looking at the husband in front of me so calm, and like their own imagination. Think of this, I slowly get up, want to go to the bathroom to rinse off to let their thoughts smooth out a bit. In the mirror I found the bruises on the body, gently with a hand to press up still some pain. No, that everything is not a dream, it is true. If so, what does the husband figure? Rather cuckold himself. Suddenly I remembered that my husband's sister was hospitalized in the hospital. Her sister is missing a kidney, needs a transplant, just my match, but they are too shy to speak up, has not been able to pick with me, and it was then that my husband began to turn into a three-quarter heat. I can well imagine that this is all husband-related, but all the motives strung together all point to those motives. No, if that's the case, I have nothing to lose, even my life at his hands. I thought silently as I went into the bathroom and came out right in front of my husband standing in the doorway. "Honey, why do you look so bad?" he said, stepping forward and trying to touch my cheek. I subconsciously took a step backward, but then smiled at him. Suddenly had a nightmare, woke up soaking wet, so I took a shower. "It's fine, I'm going to go back to sleep." After saying that, I walked towards my room, and in my afterglow, I saw the chilling look in my husband's eyes and couldn't help but feel my heart racing. After lying down, I told myself that I must treat it calmly. If it was really as I guessed, then I must poke him on the spot, or else my life would be lost without me knowing. Then I slowly closed my eyes. The next day, my husband's behavior is the same as before, but I have doubts and my heart is constantly growing. In the morning after breakfast, my husband and I talked about the massage. I did not move to tell him that the experience was great, and implied that he could come again. Sure enough, my husband immediately smiled and said to me, "Wife, since you think it's good, let's have Mr. Joe come again today. Let's do something different." "How different?" I said, looking at him with interest. "You're not jealous?" Hubby sniffed and first froze, then the corners of his mouth rose and said, "How could I? After all, I can't satisfy you with this. This massage can satisfy you. Why would I be jealous?" Speaking, he handed a cup of honey water to my friend. My eyes with a smile took over. By evening, Mr. Joe came to the door. This time I still lightly lay down on the chair, only I tried the drugs that can block the stimulated nerves beforehand. Immediately afterward, the moment I smelled the smoky incense, I began to act like I was all limp and half paralyzed. Seeing that I was practically at his mercy, Dr. Joe invited her husband in, and this time I was awake to see her husband holding a video camera aimed at me and Dr. Joe. At that time, my whole head winged for a moment, and then blank. Hubby, on the other hand, said on the side, "You'd better hurry up, otherwise how do I come to feel, and this medicine really can't use more. I also know that she is neurologically deranged," after directly forcing her to sign a surgical agreement. "Sir, this can't be done, the medicine is increased, is going to kill people," Teacher Joe said and frowned towards her husband. But the husband's face sank at once. He shouted towards Teacher Joe, "Cut the crap, you get paid to do something, hurry up." As he spoke, the husband handed a white syringe from the box to Dr. Joe. "I see that the medicine you used there before is useless. If this continues, in case she finds out, we'll all be out of luck." The words just fell. Dr. Joe frowned and took that white syringe. Immediately my whole body panicked. The moment the pillow landed on me, I violently pushed Dr. Joe on top of me away and pulled my jacket to wrap myself tightly. "You two animals, especially you Zhang Chuxing, you are not a person, actually. Do this to me," I said with eyes full of scarlet inner anger. Seeing me awakened, the two were first startled, then the husband actually laughed loudly towards me. "Do you think you can escape from here today? Since you've already discovered it, don't blame me." As he spoke, my husband threw the camera in his hand aside and lunged directly towards me. I immediately fought to resist, but my own body was soft and weak for some reason. After being caught by him, I resisted to no avail. Under the accidentally hit the wall, followed by the whole person fainted. When I woke up again, in addition to my body aching, the corner of my mouth had a taste of blood. "Let go of me," I hissed as I struggled toward the two men in front of me. I said to my husband in incomparable despair, "What the hell do you want? Zhang Chuxing, you are a scum, why in the world are you doing this to me?" Hearing my heartbreaking roar, my husband approached me. He reached out and cupped my chin. "Do you think I really want to marry you? If it wasn't for my sister, I wouldn't have married you at all. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have become impotent due to the stress. It's all because of you. You nonsense," I said as tears silently streaked across my face. Hubby sneered at me and said, "I'm bullshitting? In the beginning, if you voluntarily give my sister a kidney, I has to go around in such a big circle. It is not because of you, a woman who is not willing. When you die, my sister can live, and I have found a way that can save me from incompetence. Those videos are enough to let me return to normal. So you did all this for your sister?" I said, turning toward him in despair. "You let another man do that kind of thing to me also for your own recovery from impotence. You are simply heartless. I said, getting more and more agitated. You are an impotent man, even worse than an animal. Aren't you afraid of being struck by heavenly lightning? Pah! Just after the words were said, he hit me hard on my face. My words completely enraged him. Then he drew out his knife and directly approached me. You die, who will still know, originally wanted to keep your life, just let you shed a kidney and then leave you some money to get rid of you, now that I found out you're waiting to die. Hubby said and raised the knife in his hand towards me. At this urgent moment, Mr. Joe struck heavily at the husband's back, and the husband fell to the ground in pain. It turned out that from early in the morning I suspected Zhang Chuxing's motives, and all along I tried to convince myself that I didn't expect him to be so vicious to me. So I simply drilled into his trap, and Mr. Joe is also my friend, arranged massage therapist. Of course, he has another identity, is my lover. The future will become my husband. Finally we reported the case. Zhang Chuxing, because of intentional homicide, was sentenced directly, and I also got a really pleasant life.